Okay, so this person's comment was really long, so it cuts off, but it says this isn't about the cartels, it's about immigrant children and inhumane detention of our people here in the US. Children are being zip tied, families are being dragged out of their home, schools, and work, and it cuts off. So in my other videos, I have talked about how the cartel is a huge factor into the violence of Latin America. And a lot of this does have to do with the cartel. One of those places that was being raided was a place that was laundering money. And you have to understand that the cartel, they do that a lot. And I'm going to play some clips right now of the journeys that people have to go through and how they run into the cartel and how much the cartel is a huge issue. A lot of people are encouraging illegal immigration, encouraging all of this stuff, but you also have to understand that through all of this, you're encouraging more cages to be put up. Through all of this, you're encouraging other companies to find more ways to make money off of illegal immigrants. And you're also helping the cartel also get money from illegal immigrants. That is why I'm 100% against all of this stuff, because again, it is not making Latin America better. It is not making anybody else's life better. It is just telling Latin Americans that yes, you have the ability to leave Latin America and come to the USA and all of your problems will be solved. But let's be real, that is giving false hope to Latin Americans, because what one president promises, another president does not have to fulfill. Giving false hope to people who have gone through so much already. Instead, we need to be actually addressing the root issues in Latin America.
Announced a bold move to shut the jungle down.
I won't allow Panama to be an open path for thousands of people who enter our country illegally, supported by an international organization related to drug trafficking and human trafficking.
He's talking specifically about Colombia's most feared and most powerful cartel, the Gulf Clan. Trying to balance two tripods on a log that's crossing a swamp. In W5's previous documentary, Narco Jungle, we landed a rare interview with a cartel leader who admitted to their lucrative human smuggling business through the Darien Gap.
Everything that moves has to pay a tax. It's a business that is helping us. They help us, and we help them reach their American dream.
Now, Panama has put up barbed wire along 5 of the 6 known routes through the jungle. And they're also deporting some who make it out of the Darien, and the U.S. is paying for it, $6 million a year. 7 plane loads so far. Shackled migrants have been sent back to Colombia, Ecuador, and most recently, India. It appears to be a deterrent. In the first 2 months following the new rules, about 37,000 migrants crossed the Darien Gap, 100,000 fewer than the same 2-month period in 2023. But there's a major flaw in Panama's plan. The entrance to the Darien Gap is in Colombia, and the cartel won't easily give up its lucrative business. Human smugglers are even advertising on social media. Don't believe the jungle is closed, he says. It's a lie. That's false.
I think the phenomenon of migration is not going to stop. Even if they put a lot of pressure, the need is quite great.
Humanitarian workers like Anahi Selam warn the cartel will just use more dangerous routes over water to circumvent the jungle.
They're going to just go around it and come by sea. It will be more terrible. I think there will be many more deaths.
At home in Honduras, there's a war for territory between gangs. They kill families, children. What they like is killing.
Thousands of teenagers have passed through this refuge in the last 2 years. They find a little help and rest there before crossing all of Mexico. Drugs and migrants bring in over $3 billion each year for the Sinaloa cartel, never short of ideas to make a profit.
Come on, hurry up.
The migrants who can't pay the cartel for their passage are forced to smuggle drugs to the United States. If they are caught, their trip ends in prison.
Okay, mission accomplished.
In the last 8 years, over 50,000 people have been killed in this war, which pits the Mexican cartels against each other. A war for the control of drug smuggling, and now for migrants. They are capable of anything, violent and morally bankrupt, and the migrants are their first victims.
Another tragedy linked to illegal immigration. 9 migrants have been found dead.
In Nogales, the Sinaloa cartel hides migrants in the region at the top of the city. The migrants stay here, in a hideout just at the end of this street.
Each bottle serves 2 people.
For 5 years, this human rights militant roams the roads of South Texas. Thousands of migrants have died here over the last 10 years. Nobody knows exactly how many. The border states don't keep a record of how many bodies are found in the desert. Eduardo tells us that he hasn't seen the 2 cousins that we're following in the last 24 hours. However, in his little office, the files pile up. The last one that he just received is another migrant, found dead the night before in this desert that has become a cemetery.
Here's what's left. At least the body was still whole. It's not often like that. Look, there's hardly the skeleton. Just a skull, in fact. And this body, the animals have already started to eat it.
The last months, he's recorded more and more cases of young adolescents disappearing.
I need to call a family who's asked for help. Their daughter has disappeared. She's 14 or 15, I think. This is a recent photo of her.
A young teenager who has disappeared is called Anayel. Her mother hasn't had any news for a month.
Listen, I'm going to find out all I can about her in the area. Speak soon. It's very likely that cartels are keeping the young girl somewhere, especially as her mother says she's practically a woman, so they've perhaps taken her to abuse her.
Anayel, a 14-year-old teenager, crossed the Mexican border at Ciudad Juarez, the second biggest entry point to the United States. One of the most dangerous cities in the world. Sadly, it's well known for its missing persons. During the 90s and 2000s, hundreds of Mexicans were sexually abused and killed here by Mexican cartels. Are young female migrants becoming the new missing persons of Juarez? Nobody here wants to talk about it because it touches on a very sensitive business run by the cartels, child prostitution. A smuggler who knows their methods well agreed to talk to us.
When young migrants arrive here, many are forced into prostitution. The gang who runs that here, people are afraid to even say their name. But they are called the Aztecs. It's them who run the trafficking of illegals in this area. And I wouldn't want to have problems with them.
Antonio is a child smuggler. He was born here and has worked independently for over 10 years. He is only talking to us to condemn the behavior of his competitors.
They buy and sell children, even little boys, but especially girls, unfortunately. Those who want to cross the border without their help, they batter to death. It's horrible to see. Right under the noses of the American cops over there, who are always patrolling. And don't forget that these gangs, they also traffic drugs. They traffic humans and drugs.
In Ciudad Juarez, nearly 1,000 women have disappeared since 2010 in these bars run by the cartels and forced into prostitution. How many migrants that their families never dare to come and get back? Ciudad Juarez may be the end of the journey for young Anayel, who disappeared when she crossed the border. Her mother entrusted her to a smuggler so she wouldn't get arrested by the American border police.